अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. Welcome back. Sorry. So, in our previous class, we have started this chapter 9. And in the beginning, in the first class, we studied the first section of this chapter, that is the first 3 verses. And we saw how beautifully the Lord is glorifying the subject matter that He is going to reveal in this chapter. And we know that traditionally the title of this chapter is Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yogaha, that is the most confidential knowledge. Now today we will move on to the next section, that is from 4th shloka to 10th shloka. That is these 7 verses. And it is about the Supreme Lord Krishna's inconceivable relationship with this material world. And also in the previous section that we discussed in our previous class, we came to know that the faithful and non-envious people can receive and practice this Rajavidya and can attain the Lord. And on the other hand, the faithless, ashraddhanaha, as discussed in shloka 3, third verse, can never receive this vidya. Faithless can never receive this vidya, and so they can never attain the Lord, and as a result continue rotating in the cycle of birth and death. And if we can remember, we already discussed about the 9 stages of bhakti, that is how they develop from Shraddha to Prema, that is love of God. As we know, in Bhakti Yoga, there is no difference between the path and the goal. And it is reaching the goal means reaching the perfectional stage of the same path. So it starts from Shraddha. Shraddha means faith. Then Sadhu Sangha, that is devotee association or association with the Mahatmas. Then Bhajana Kriya, that is devotional practice. Kriya means the activities, Bhajana means worshipping. It includes everything. Then Anartha Nivritti, that is removing the impurities of the mind, and then Nishtha, and Ruchi means test. Then Asakti means attraction to the lotus feet of the Lord. Then Bhava, that is following the mood of the pure devotees, or reaching to the to the mood of the Brajavasis, we can say. And then Prema, that is ultimate love of God. So we see how Shraddha is so important, that we discussed in our previous class and in many other classes also. We see now here in these 2 verses that we will recite first, 4 and 5. मया ततमिदं सर्वं जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि न चाहं तेष्वस्थितः. Maya, by me, tatam, pervaded, idam, this, sarvam, all, jagat, cosmic manifestation, avyakta murtina, by the unmanifested form, matsthani, in me, sarva bhutani, all living entities, na, not, cha, also, aham, I, teshu, in them, avasthitaha, situated. Translation: by me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. The next verse also we will recite. न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम् भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थो ममात्मा भूतभावनः. Na, never. Cha, also. Matsthani, situated in me. Bhutani, all creation. Pashya, just see. Me, my. Yogam, Aishwaram, inconceivable mystic power. Bhutabhrit, the maintainer of all living entities. Na, never. Cha, also. Bhutasthaha, in the cosmic manifestation. Mama, my. Atma, self. Bhutabhavanaha, the source of all manifestations. Translation. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation. For myself is the very source of creation. So, see, in these two verses, actually, the Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva of Sriman Mahaprabhu is very clear. How, that we will discuss. As in this verse, text 4, Bhagavan says, this entire creation is pervaded by me. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat. Avyakta murtina. How? By my unmanifested form. See, Bhagavan told about his all-pervasive nature in 7.7 also, in the 7th chapter. Mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre maniganaiva. And the next verse, 7.8, Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi surya yoho. So in these two verses also, Bhagavan described about his pervasive, all-pervasive nature. And here, Avyakta Murtina, this particular word, Avyakta Murti, rather. So, in the 7th chapter only, in 7.24, these Vyakta Avyakta terms were first introduced by the Lord as, there he said, Avyaktam Vyaktim Apannam Manyate Mam Abuddhayaha. So, it is the less intelligent people who don't know the ultimate feature of the absolute truth. And as a result, they think I am actually unmanifest who have now become manifested. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mam abuddhayaha. That was said in 7.24 by the Lord himself. That is, so as Bhagavan says, that they think I am actually unmanifest who have now become manifested. What does it mean? It means they think this body as material, this body of the Lord as material. But Bhagavan is always present in his transcendental form, not in material form. And this is ultimate realization. So, this means his Vyakta Swarupa, that is manifest form, is superior. And he is simultaneously present in Vyakta and Avyakta Swarupa. It is not that sometimes Vyakta, sometimes Avyakta. No. So, in the Avyakta Swarupa, he is attributeless, Nirguna, formless, Nirakara, and a combination of Para and Apara Prakriti, as it was discussed in 7th chapter only, the superior and the inferior energy of the Lord. So that is the unmanifest form, Avyakta Swarupa. And in his Vyakta Swarupa, he is with a transcendental form. And he is Shaktiman, that is the energetic Purushottama, Satchidananda Vigraha. So we see, to realize the transcendental, the material perceptions that we depend upon for everything is of no use, are of no use. But we see in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.234, it is said, Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavid grahyamindriyaihi sevonmukhehi juvadau swayameva sfuratyadaha. So, Swayameva Sfuratyadaha, it is revealed automatically. How? Atah Shri Krishna Namadi, that is Krishna's name, form, and everything. There is no difference, as we know. His name, form, Leela, everything is same. Because everything is spiritual, so there is no difference between name, form, pastimes, and paraphernalia. Everything is of the same nature. Sorry. So, Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavid grahyam indriyaihi. So, it is not possible to perceive them by the material organs, material senses. Then how to perceive them? Sevan mukhehi jivado swayameva spuratyadaha. So, they are revealed through the devotional service itself. That starts from Juva, tongue, that is chanting the holy name of the Lord, except Krishna Prasadam. So we see by which to be known, that we discussed in our previous class, is the second meaning of Vidya, by which to be known, the knowable. So, that means the second meaning, that is Rajaguhya Vidya. So, how to know that is the path? The path is pure devotional service. Sevan mukhehi jivado swayameva spuratyada. And we see in Brahma Samhita also, 5.38, it is said, Premanjanachurita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. That means one can see the Supreme Lord Govinda always within his heart and outside as well. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochana, whose eyes are anointed with love of God, they can always see the Lord within. So, as we know, and why outside as well? Because we know that by his all-pervasive energy, he is present everywhere and in everything. And that is why he says in 9.4, we see, all beings are in me, matsthani sarva bhutani. And see, he says just the contradictory here, apparently contradictory, not at all in reality. in text 5, na cha matsthane bhutani. And in the same breath he says, in the previous verse he said matsthani sarva bhutani, and apparent contradiction, nacha matsthani bhutani pashyame yogameshwaram. So this is the mystic opulence of mind. O Arjuna, all beings are in me. But at the same time, the created beings are not situated in me. So this is the because of the absolute nature of the Lord, and how that we will discuss. Prior to that, the first part, that is the second part. Okay, the nachaham teshu avasthitah, in the previous verse it was there. Let me show you. It will be easier to understand. Nachaham teshu avasthitah, that we did not discuss. So, matsthani sarva bhutani nachaham teshu avasthitah. It is in one line. Matsthani sarva bhutani, that is, all beings are in me, but I am not in them. Nachaham teshu avasthitah. Now, in chapter 7, Bhagavan said that this entire creation is a combination of his superior and inferior energy, para and apara prakriti. So, his energy is spread in this entire creation, and everything is resting on that energy. For example, a gross example we can take, that is a king who heads his government, and that government, which is a manifestation of his kingly energy, and the different departments of his government are a fraction of his energy. And all the departments are dependent on that energy or that power. But the king is not personally present in all his departments, right? As I already said, it is a gross example, but we can understand from this example. Similarly, all the manifestations, whether material or spiritual, they are resting on the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That we know. We already started. So Bhagavan says, and as I was just saying about the apparent contradiction, now we will move on to this, to verse number 5. So Bhagavan says that though I am the maintainer of all living entities, Bhuta Bhrit, and my self, Mama Atma, is a source of all creation, Bhuta Bhavanaha. Mamatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. But the created beings are not situated in me. Nacha matsthane bhutani. Pashyame yogameshwaram. See my inconceivable mystic potency. So we see if we think something in our mind that I want to do this, we have to go through a whole lot of endeavor to achieve that, or to give it a shape, to give our idea a shape? Because we are material. Our body, our mind, everything is material. We, as the we, in our real nature, that is Atma, we are only spiritual, but the instruments we are associated with, or the instruments we are working through, they are all material. So we see it is not the case for Bhagavan. By his determination or willpower alone, he can create, sustain, and annihilate. There is no difference between his mind and himself. It is unlike our case. So he is completely aloof from his manifested creation. Here also we can take a gross example. Like we see the judge of a Supreme Court, he gives verdict that in turn gives pleasure or pain to the people who are judged. But the judge himself is completely aloof from the pain and pleasure, loss and gain, etc. So this is the Yogam Aishwaram of Bhagavan. So he is present at the same time, not present. And as we discussed, that he is always present in his eternal abode. And Bhagavan will also give the example to help us understand this situation in the next verse. That also we will recite. Okay. How it is, Arjuna? See, it is like this. Another example he is giving himself. यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यं वायुः सर्वत्र गो महान् तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानित्युपधारय. Synonyms: yatha, just as; akashasthitaha, situated in the sky; nityam, always; vayuhu, the wind; sarvatra, blowing everywhere; mahan, great; tatha, similarly; sarvani bhutani, all created beings; matsthani, situated in me; iti, thus; upadharaya, try to understand. Translation: understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere rests always in the sky, all created beings rest in me. I see how beautiful example the Lord gives himself. Because it is very difficult for the common man to understand this Yogam Aishwaram. How he is simultaneously present and not present in his creation. So he gives example of wind and sky. The strong wind that is blowing in all directions always rests in the sky, and likewise the created beings are resting in me, Bhagavan says. So air may be mighty, great, but they are not beyond the sky, they are limited in the sky. Similarly, the wonderful cosmic manifestations which are existing existing by the supreme will of the Lord. Otherwise, it has got no existence. By His will, everything is created, maintained, and annihilated. But sky is aloof of the wind. Similarly, He is aloof of His creation. We see in Taittiriya Upanishad 2.8.1, it is said, Yad bhisha vataha pavate. So, out of His sphere, the wind is blowing. It is not in relation to the same example that we had just given, that is air and sky or wind and sky. No, it is to understand that wind is so powerful, so great, but still it is not flowing on its own. It is not blowing on its own. It is blowing out of the fear of the Supreme Lord. It is said in Taittiriya Upanishad, Yad bhisha vataha pavate. And in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also, it is said 3.8.9 that Etasya va aksharasya prashasane gargi surya chandramasau vidhritau tishtata. Etasya va aksharasya prashasane gargi dyava prithivyav vidhritau tishtataha. So it is in Yajnavalkya Gargi Samvada. So it is addressed to Gargi, the great Mahatma lady. So it is said that all the planets are moving under his superintendence only. We may see that all the planets are moving in such a disciplined manner. So it is their wish. That is why they are moving. No, it is not that. It is under the superintendence of the Lord, or out of His fear. Both we can say. And that is why we see in Brahma Samhita also, it is said a beautiful verse, 5.52, Yat chakshur esha savita sakala grahanam. Yat chakshuresha savita sakala grahanam. Raja samasta suramurti rashesha tejaha. Yasyagnaya bhramati samhrita kala chakro. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So here it is also said that the description of the movement of sun. So sun is considered to be one of the eyes of the Supreme Lord. Yat chakshuhu esha savita sakala grahanam. So it is the king of all the planets. And it has got immense power to diffuse heat and light. But it is still moving on the fixed orbit by the order of the Supreme Lord Govinda. So from the Vedic literature we can actually find all the evidence that this material manifestation, they might appear very wonderful, very great to our perception, but it is always under the control of the Supreme Lord in all sense. And this will be explained further in the next verses, the following verses. Okay. So 7, 8, 9, 10 also we will finish today. I can't help it. सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकं कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम्. I can skip the word by word meaning, that is the synonyms, that you can study on your own. The translation I am reading. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all the material manifestations enter into my nature. And at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. Okay, I am moving to 8. Then we'll discuss. प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्राममिमं कृत्स्नम् अवशं प्रकृतिर्वशात्. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again, and under my will, it is annihilated at the end. Okay, so what it is said? So the main point of verse 7 is Prakriti is the representative of the Lord who is working on his behalf. So, and verse number 8 is saying the whole cosmos is automatically manifested and annihilated again and again through Prakriti. So we see in the previous chapter, that is chapter 8, from 8.16 to 8.20, we discussed this elaborately, how in Brahma's one day there is partial dissolution, amsha pralaya, etc. All this we discussed. So in the night of Brahma, there is a partial dissolution. And after 100 years of one Brahma, there is a complete dissolution. Mahapralaya. So all these things we discussed, I am not repeating it. You please go through those verses again. And now we will move on to verse 9. न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीनावदासीनम् असक्तं तेषु कर्मसु. Synonyms. I am skipping again. Translation. O Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. So this is very, very important. I will give little explanation to this. That how Bhagavan is saying, I am detached from all material actions, situated as neutral, udasinavat. Udasinavat asinam, asaktam. Asinam means sitting and asaktam means detached. So I am sitting as neutral, completely detached from my creation. And here in Vedanta Sutra 2.1.34, it is said, Vaishamya Narighrinye na. So he is not situated in the dualities of this material world. He is situated transcendental to the material creation. And in Brahma Samhita 5.6 it is said, एवं ज्योतिर्मयो देवः सदानन्दः परात्परः आत्मा रामस्य तस्यास्ति प्रकृत्या न समागमः. So, evam, this Jyotirmayah, this effulging, the Lord, the Supreme Lord, Devaha, who is Sadanandaha, who is always blissful, and Paratparaha, that is Parameshwara, the Absolute. So, Atma Ramasya Tasyasti Prakritya Na Samagamaha. He is always involved in spiritual, blissful, eternal activities in the Goloka, his supreme abode, Goloka or Gokula. And he has nothing to do with the material activities or the material things. And finally, in verse 10, Bhagavan says, मय्याध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः सूयते सचराचरं हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगद्विपरिवर्तते. Translation: this material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So, as it is started from verse number 7, how Prakriti works, that Bhagavan is saying, Mayadhyakshena. So, Prakriti is working under my direction. And what she is doing? Suyate sacharacharam. Suyate means manifests. So she on my behalf manifests the entire creation. See, by Bhagavan's glance, he impregnates the Prakriti. He gives seeds to the womb of Mother Prakriti. Aham bija pradapita. Sorry. And all the living entities are injected in the womb of Mother Prakriti. And in turn, they are manifested. So he has directly no connection with this material world. Through Prakriti, all the living entities are coming into being. But he is the seed giver father. So, and Mayadhyakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam Hetu Nanena Kaunteya Jagad Viparivartate. So, Hetuna means for this reason, Hetuna Anena, for this reason, O Kaunteya, O Arjuna, and this cosmic manifestation is working. So, here we see the inconceivable relationship of the Lord with this material world. So, before closing today's session, we will go through a quick recap of what we learned today. We see in verse 4-5, there is just a summary. The Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva is revealed the inconceivable relationship of the Lord. Everything is created by the Lord, but the Lord is not present in his creation. Though he is all pervading, all beings are in the Lord, but he is not in them. Here we discussed about the analogy of king and his departments. We can also consider the example of sun and sun rays in this connection. And we see the transcendental relationship uh, between Jiva and Krishna. We can make 3 points. That is, Jiva is completely dependent on Bhagavan. Jivas acting independently, though it may appear that the Jivas, that is, we, are working independently, but actually we are not acting independently. We are completely dependent on Bhagavan. Definitely, we have understood from the discussions of that we discussed today and of the previous from the previous discussion also. And the third point is Bhagavan is always detached and neutral. Udasinam asakta. And here we Bhagavan gave the example of air and sky, air in the sky, who is aloof, sky is aloof, and judge of the Supreme Court. Okay. And then in 6, verse 6, we saw that the material creation is completely under the control of the Supreme Lord Krishna. And verse 7 says that Prakriti is the representative of the Lord, and 8 says that automatic creation and annihilation is going on through Prakriti. And 9 says that Bhagavan remains aloof. He is not situated in the dualities of this material world, rather transcendental to all. And verse number 10 says that Prakriti is working under the direction of the Supreme Lord Krishna, that is Mayadhyakshena. So with this we have come we have come to the end of today's session. वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna.